Turkish Get Up, you're going to use your dumbbell or a kettlebell. I prefer kettlebells for this movement, but if you don't have access to them, dumbbell will work as well. So I'm going to show you how it goes. Looks complicated on the surface, but it's actually a very simple exercise once you do it a couple times. I'm going to show you how it's done. I'm going to break down a couple common mistakes that people make when learning the exercise, and just make sure that you really understand how to do it correctly and avoid these common mistakes. So lay down on the ground, take your dumbbell or kettlebell up towards the ceiling. The whole goal of this exercise is to get up from laying down to a standing position while keeping your hand pointed straight up at the ceiling the whole time. So you're going to take your foot out to the side. You're going to use it to help roll over on your elbow, up on your hand. Get your butt up off the ground as high as it'll go. And then draw a half circle with your foot in order to get your knee underneath you, underneath your hips. That's going to provide the platform you need to get up to this position. Get that foot planted in front of you good. Good lunge up to the top. Reverse lunge back. On your hand, straighten your leg out. Lay back down. So again, I'm going to demonstrate a couple things, a couple common mistakes I see people make. First of all, the foot. You want to have it planted in a place where you can actually push through the heel and use your hips, squeeze your glute to help you roll over. As you get heavier with this movement, you're not going to be able to just roll over on your own. You're going to have this leg. So just bringing the leg up to here, this isn't it. Flaring it way out to the side isn't it. There's kind of a little sweet spot that you'll find where you've got your foot in good solid contact with the ground, like we've talked about in our principles of movement, and you're going to push through the heel, squeeze the glute, and help you get over onto that elbow. The next thing that I see people doing wrong is when they get up on their hand, they pull their hand in close to them. This cuts off way too much space between your hand and your foot. Now watch, when I get up, my foot's got nowhere to go. Okay, I can't get my leg underneath me. So when you get up on your hand, just get your hand, get up on the hand. It can come in a little bit closer towards you, but don't bring it in significantly closer towards your body. So watch this. Now I've got much more room for me to be able to execute this. When you get your hips up, get them up high, okay? And then draw the half circle. You don't want to just pull it straight in because you'll run out of room and you just get yourself all tweaked out. So draw a half circle on the ground with your foot and get that knee underneath you. You do not want to leave the knee sitting out in front of you like this, because when you come up, you'll have a tendency to sit back on your heel. Never sit back on your heel during this exercise. It's a bad thing to do to your knee. I know from experience it will tweak your knee out. So, don't learn the hard way like I did. Be strong with this movement. Get that knee underneath you so that you can get yourself up. Get that knee directly underneath you. Get yourself up. And then the last thing that I see people doing wrong is they rush this movement right here. They come up and they stand up in one motion. Do not do that. Get yourself up. Get this foot planted where you want it for a good lunge so you can push to the heel, squeeze the glute, and stand it up. So that's basically it. And again, as you're coming down, make sure that you don't sit back onto your heel. You come down in reverse lunge, you get down on your hand, straighten the leg out, and lay back down. So again, I'll demonstrate the correct way to do it. Put yourself set, leg out to the side, over on your elbow, up on your hand, get those hips up, get that knee underneath you, get yourself up, lunge it up, okay? Back on your hand, and lay it down. So that's it. Very basic movement actually. Like I said, it seems more complicated on the surface than it actually is. Once you've done it a couple times, you'll see it's actually a pretty easy exercise. Just as you get heavier, it'll really start to expose any laziness, any technique flaws that you have, and force you to get stronger with those. So definitely don't be afraid to move up. You want to find that sweet spot. If you're too light, like say you're doing 10-pound dumbbells, you're so strong you're going to be able to manhandle that weight. You're going to be able to get away with a lot of technique flaws. But if you go right to say a 50-pound, you're not going to be able to execute. So you're trying to find that sweet spot between where it's challenging you enough to force you to do it right, but not so heavy that you're not able to execute it correctly. So once again, that's the Turkish Get Up. Great exercise for us to do. People hate it because it's hard, which means we need it. So anyways, there you go.